Hey everyone, it's Lisa J here and welcome to another edition. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to me on my podcast, I welcome you to this week's edition. And hopefully you're on YouTube so you can see this beautiful picture. This is where my office is this week. And I want to chat with you about how you too can create this kind of freedom. And I worked with 3 international clients, 3 different time zones this morning. And you know, it wasn't always this way. I had to build this, and I built this with intention. And I'm going to share with you on this week's episode what I did and what you can do too. 4 ideas, 4 steps to creating your own personal freedom, financially and as well as time freedom, that I can be up here in beautiful Northern California. This lake is called Lake Almanor. My parents have a second home up here. You know, they lost their full-time home, Paradise, California, in the Camp Fire, but we just found them a home in Chico, California, so we're moving them in this week. But I still have to do business, so I'm up here, my little office right here overlooking Lake Almanor. But again, it wasn't always like this. I had to build up to this, just like you need to build up to this. So here is 4 ideas for you to build up to your own personal time freedom and personal financial freedom. Number 1, first and foremost, become an entrepreneur. Yeah, become an entrepreneur, or at least a freelancer. So you run your own time, you run your own schedule. Now, please know when you choose to step out of your corporate job or step out of a teaching job, possibly, I don't know, you've got to do both for a segment of time. You're going to work harder than you've ever worked. You're going to work harder on your new business more than you would if you worked for an organization. That's just the way it is. It takes a lot of effort, fuel, and time to launch a successful entrepreneurial business. So please know it's not an overnight success. It feels like it though, because you're going to be working at it, just like pumping water from a well. You're pumping and pumping and exerting all that energy, and then all of a sudden, wow, a gush of water comes out. And you're just holding on to the lever and just maintaining that water pressure, just like success. So here's the first idea, it is to decide and to set those goals and to create that vision board and to know your decision, creating that clarity in your heart and in your mind. That's step number 1. But along with that is, and having morning rituals every single day. Morning rituals that set your posture for who you are. I am a thought leader. I am a successful entrepreneur. I am a global leader. I am running a company that's international. You know, that was my goal back, 19 years ago, you guys. And this morning, my coaching calls and my Zoom calls, my webinars, they were from Paris, from Amsterdam, from South Africa, and from Israel. Jean, that's you. And what a joy, you know, that I have an international business. It wasn't always that way. Here's what I did. Step number 1, I decided. And I created that line of demarcation, that line in the sand, that this is who I am, this is what I'm up to. And I supported that decision, and still do, with morning rituals. I write in my journal, it's sitting right over there, every single morning, this is the day the Lord has made, I will rejoice and be glad in it. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And I create the posture, the mindset. I sense my contribution, even when I'm feeling insecure that day. Like, who am I to contribute? Who am I to have an international business? All those doubts still come up for me, and I'm like, Lisa, and I retrain my brain in the moment every day throughout the day to establish my posture and maintain that level of confidence. Who am I? I'm a child of God. I am divinely guided. I am equipped. I am capable. I want this, and that desire is my fuel. I love helping international clients. I love learning about their culture. I love being on the phone with them, and it's 10 o'clock to them, and it's, 12 noon to me. And then I love going over to Europe and to South America and to Canada and visiting my clients. I have a client this Monday, Labor Day, coming in and staying with me for 2 days. That's you, Annette, from the Netherlands. She was my client. She came to the Florence Mastermind Retreat. She was my client for about 1.5 years. What a joy to have her stay in our home this weekend with her daughter. I've stayed in her home as well a couple of years ago. So that like bring those thoughts and those visions to life with your imagination, in your memory, every day, rooting your desires and substantiating your goals with vision and with that heart connection of, wow, I get to do this. I'm called to do this. This is what I really want. And just watch what you start attracting. So that's step number one, you guys. Did you hear that? It's decide and then support that decision with morning rituals and daily habitual patterns to keep yourself in that posture. Step number two, daily routines. Daily routines with formulas. So a couple of my daily routines, I did things like it was top of mind. Everywhere I went. I can remember one time I was in a Zumba class. Boy, I'm really in the shade. I was in a Zumba class and I was just sharing with everybody when we were done with that Zumba class, you guys, I'm launching internationally in London. And I didn't have one client in London. I wanted to go to London. So I'm like, I'm launching internationally in London. Who do you know in London? And you know, they're getting done with the Zumba class and they're, oh, I'll think about it or whatever. Somebody comes up to me and says, Lisa, I would love to help you with that. I know somebody in London. Another lady came up to me and said, Lisa, we just moved here from another part of the UK. I can help you with that. And next thing I know, I had those contacts from those two gals that were in my Zumba class, which brought me to London that summer. This is 3 years ago. And now I have a thriving team there and coaching clients there for both businesses, both my direct selling business and my coaching and consulting business. That's just because it's top of mind. I tell people everywhere I go, I'm launching internationally. Who do you know in Japan? Who do you know in France? Who do you know in Germany? Who do you know in London? You need to have that top of mind and you're sharing that. You're marketing yourself with everybody you meet and just watch how people want to help you. The other thing that's formulaic, now do you see, that's a formula. That's a habitual pattern of mine. I do that everywhere I go. Another formula of mine is I share a lot free content. This is a free content. And I talk about my next Rich Life Mastermind retreat in Paris, France, summer of 2020. I talk about, I go on podcast guest appearances. I do YouTube stations for my competitors or, you know, other colleagues of mine. And that helps me market myself and get the word out. While yes, I'm contributing to others, you better believe it. That's a business strategy because I'm sharing about my next mastermind retreat. I'm talking about my next online program that's being launched. So who could you partner with that you have them on your podcast as a guest or your YouTube station show and you are on theirs? Another part of my formula, I write a lot. I'm a guest writer for different blog posts. Again, getting my message out. Now that's up to you to ask, who do I know that I could reach out to and say, I'd love to be a guest host on your podcast or your YouTube station or write an article for your blog. And may I put a bio at the end with my website and share my next, whatever I'm up to. So that's a formula that I do every single day. When I'm focused on sponsoring and inviting for my direct sales business, I am inviting every day. For the last, well, since January of 2019, I pulled back from my direct selling business and I'm just enjoying that residual income. Thank you, God, for residual income. If you are in a direct selling organization, I want you to work your tail off to get that residual income in because that, you do the work once and you truly get paid forever. I love that business model. I believe in direct sales. And so, but if I were actively growing my team right now, I would be inviting a specific number. For me, you guys, it was only 10 a day, and sometimes, but never less than 5. So sometimes it was only 5 a day. 10 a day, 5 days a week, that's 50 new prospects every single week. Can you imagine if you were committed, dedicated to that? That's what I was committed and dedicated to for a short period of time. I would say 3 years max. Now that, for some of you, that sounds like a long time. I didn't grow with crazy speed like some other people did. I grew, I would say, more slowly and consistently, but I was consistent over about 2.5, 3 year period to the point where I had residual income that I'm still enjoying today, 19 years later. I joined my company 19 years ago. Life matters. and I'm still enjoying that check today. Yes, we've been acquired by Young Living, so that is our company. But again, if I were actively promoting and sponsoring, I would be inviting a certain number of people every single day. What about you? Do you have your bottom line number that every day you will invite that many people just to take a look, just to take a look? So do you hear? These are systematic approaches. These are formulas. Another way of formula is your way of being. Like I said, it's top of mind for me to talk about my product, my service, launching London or going to the Paris Rich Life Mastermind Retreat. This has to be a formula for you. And I know what comes up for you because it came up for me, and it's imposter syndrome. Like, wow, who am I to have a global business? Well, who aren't you to have a global business? It's just time for you to step up, be bolder, trust your confidence, trust you're divinely guided, and start sharing your intentions, sharing your goals, and believing more in yourself, cultivating that faith in yourself, and cultivating the faith in your goals. And then the last thing is every evening doing an evaluation, just between you and you. Where did I miss the mark today where I could be better tomorrow? Where did I really knock it out of the park today? I'm proud of myself. I did that. I accomplished that. I held that conference call with confidence. I retracted when I made a mistake and said I was sorry. I made those phone calls when I promised myself I would. I wrote that blog post for that, and I was a guest appearance or a guest host. Whatever it is for you that you set your goal, you evaluate at the end of the day. Don't forget that, you guys. That's so important. Your own personal evaluation. And then you end that day with this mantra. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I'm getting closer and closer to my goal. So what's your goal? Financial freedom, time freedom, creating a tribe of amazing people internationally, globally, that you can go visit around the world. Be willing to do the work, be willing to create those morning rituals that create your posture to go out in the world, have it be top of mind, and share it with everybody. And then in the evening, doing your own personal evaluation. So those are my tips for you as an entrepreneur, and I'm going to go enjoy this beautiful day here in Lake Almanor. And thank you so much for being a part of my tribe. See you soon, guys.